Hi there and welcome to my nerd out video. Now if you're a proper nerd or a studio engineer or something, you'll probably just be throwing up your hands in horror at some of the things that I do, or the way that I do them, and I'm sure that there'll be lots of suggestions about ways that I can do things better, but I thought you might just want to know exactly how I go about making my recordings. So we've all seen this guitar. There's even a video where I talk about all my guitars, so I won't talk about it too much, but 7-string, which is my favorite guitar to play. Inside it has a K&K pickup. You see that's the sound hole. There's kind of a sound hole in the top, and you can't actually see it because it's a bit dark, but the K&K pickup is just 3 little sensors that are actually glued onto the bottom of the bridge, so they're not squashed between the bridge saddle and the always very careful with it. They're not squashed between the bridge saddle and the bridge, so you don't get that nasty piezo sound that I really don't like. So that's one thing. The other thing is, here's the microphone I'm using. So this one is the 804050 Audio Technica. It cost about $1,000 a few years, well, God, a long time ago, 10 years ago, but it's lovely. It just makes the guitar sound really, really nice. And I have made recordings where I've just used only that. I think my most popular recording, I used that, a mixture of that, this, and the pickup. And I just used a little bit of the pickup and a little bit of that. And this one is a newer microphone, and I've got this for singing because sometimes I just want to play guitar and sing. This Shure SM7. It's really good for vocals because it's not picking up all stuff around the place, and it's very good for podcasting and things like that. It's not great for using just on guitar, but I am sometimes just also recording a little bit and maybe just putting a little bit of the sound in if I want to. What else do I need to show you? Here is my very ancient MacBook, which is about 12 years old. It still has the old type of USB, so it has trouble running this, which is the Evo 8, which is what I use as an interface. Again, it's not an expensive one. That's really cheap actually. Before that I was using the Scarlett, which is even cheaper. If I had a lot of money to put into this and I didn't spend it all on guitars, I would spend it on getting some nice preamps before the interface, but hey, I'm pretty happy with what we got. So that's the hardware. I could talk about a lot of other things in terms of the sound. I think a lot of it is down to how you deal with your nails and things like that, and your fingernails and how you use them, but all of that's on Patreon. If you want to find out about more of that, just go to my Patreon channel. So now we're going to dive into what's actually happening on the computer. So let's get into Logic. Now we're in Logic and we're having a look at the younger sister, which I recorded about a week ago. Now, as you can see, we've got 3 tracks. We've got the pickup, we've got the Audio Technica, and I've also put in the Shure SM7. So let's start by having a quick listen to the pickup. So here we go. So as you can see, it's not terrible for a pickup. I'm not a fan of the pickup sound, but I do like to get some of it recorded because it's very handy. One, if there's any background noise, that at times I can just take out the mic a little bit and put more pickup in just to get around that. And also sometimes you can get a bass response that you can't get with a microphone. So that's the pickup. This is the Audio Technica, which is a really nice guitar mic, I think. Now for me that sounds pretty much real. That sounds what the guitar sounds like to me. And last of all, the Shure microphone, which is more of a vocal mic. Actually sounds quite nice, I think. The only thing you might have noticed is there's a little bit of hiss there. So let's have a look at that. So now I'm going to change from the edit window to the mix window. So I would click on EQ here and tools, and you want a high cut because something's happening there. There's a little bit too much hiss. I don't know why. I think maybe it's the preamp in the SM7. It's just a little bit much. And you can say it's already taking it down 20k, but that hiss sounds to me more like 10k. So I think we're actually going to have to lose quite a lot, which is going to affect the sound. But let's have a listen. Ah, there we go. That's where it is, about 6-7k there. Okay. All right, so, and let's just actually listen to them all three together. So this is all three together without me doing anything. So yeah, that's basically what it sounds like. And it actually sounds not bad to me. All right, now there's a trick, very popular trick with producers from the days of before computers, where you record the acoustic guitar and then you put a very quick delay behind the sound of the acoustic guitar and you pan that super wide. Now I'm not going to do that. I mean, I could do that. I could duplicate the track and then could actually physically move it, and that would be one way. Or just put a big delay on it and pan it really wide. But what I'm going to do is kind of similar, which is to take the pickup and put a big, going to modulation, chorus, stereo chorus there. So I'm going to just get rid of the Shure for now. So we've got the Audio Technica in the middle, nice and loud, and we've got the pickup, mega wide chorus. Yeah, now that sounds a little bit proggy to me, a little bit Steve Howe. Not that there's anything wrong with that. It's not what we're looking for. So I'm taking the mix down, and what I'm also going to do is just make the pickup a bit quieter. So we're basically hearing the really nice condenser mic sound of the actual guitar, but I've just put a little bit of chorus on the pickup, and it just makes the signal kind of sound wider and broader. So that's one thing that I could do. And this is what I did actually on my most popular video, and I went straight to Space Designer, which is just such a great reverb, and then I went large spaces, outdoor spaces, big cave, and I just put heaps of big cave on the pickup and then left the guitar sound completely dry from the Audio Technica. So that way you don't lose any clarity from the main signal, but you do still get those lovely reverbs and that broadness from the chorus. Now, I said that's what I did then. It's not what I do now. So let's get rid of the Space Designer. Another thing I like to do, instead of using the modulation of a chorus, if you use the modulation of a stereo spreader, where's that? There we go. This is a lot more subtle, particularly if you don't have it on 100%. So it's spreading, giving a feeling of stereo, but it's not modulating and warbling away, making it. It's a lot more subtle, so that's what I prefer to do. Now, the next thing I would do, instead of putting Space Designer just on the channel there, I would do this, and this is a lot more sophisticated. It's not very hard. You go to Sends, you press the button, goes bus, you go bus 1. And let's send that, and let's also do that with the Shure, even though it's not switched on. So bus goes to aux 1, and then aux 1 appears here. Now the tricky thing to remember is that next to bus is this little wheel, and you've got to turn that up, otherwise it doesn't send anything. It's not very obvious. I had to go to a YouTube channel myself. No, I didn't. I don't know what I had to do, but it took me a while. I didn't know that for ages. No. Anyway, there we go. So now on the aux we can add in the beautiful Space Designer. And we'll still do it in stereo. Now, as I said, if you're doing ambient stuff, you want large spaces. Before when I was playing more just acoustic guitar, I would put either no reverb, or I would go for something like nice hall, medium, like nice hall, and not have too much of it. But we're doing ambient here, so we're going to go. Now, I'm not going to use Big Cave. I'm going to use Hall's Botta Church, because then it sounds like some Italian church, like my kind of a classical recital in a church. And again, I'm only sending the Shure and the pickup. I'm not sending the main thing to the Space Designer. So now I've got a much more subtle reverb, and I've panned them wide, and I'm still leaving the really clear guitar in the middle, and I want them about the same. And let's hope there's not too much hiss, but let's see. And that's pretty much what I do. And then I just go to track file, bounce, project or section. Gonna bounce as a wave, 24 bits, and make sure that your sample rate is 48,000, and bounce away, which I'm not going to do because I don't need to do that. Alright, so I hope that you got something out of that, and looking forward to hearing from you.